Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1 Phathead, Cande Roth. Cande out on vacation. She is away for good things, meeting with some friends down in Florida, having a good time. She will be back Monday to discuss the trip. Got a picture yesterday. It looked pretty cool. As a matter of fact, it was like 5 of them drinking martinis or something. And yeah, so hope they're having a great time. We have some rain this morning, then clearing out later, and will be about 70 or so. So, yeah, definitely getting better. And then cooling down Saturday and Sunday, should be in the 60s, but still great fall weather for the beginning of November here. A reminder, our secret holiday show on December 11th at Mulcahy's. Mulls.com for those tickets. We have currently scheduled 5 surprise artists to be on stage. We got some newbies. We got established. All sorts of fun stuff. Going to be a great night. A bunch of them have hit songs right now sitting high up on the charts. We are excited about the secret holiday show. Tickets at Mulls.com. The best surprise of the year. A lot of fun. Always a great event. We can't wait to bring it to you at Mulcahy's December 11th. Get ready for it. And just really a good time every single year. And over the years, we've had some big ones. Going back, of course, still trying to get Darius back here. 2016, Darius Rucker was part of our secret holiday show. So you get those tickets at Mulcahy's website. All right, bunch of things to get into here. Saw an article on musicians, bands particularly, and their diverse lyrics, vocabulary in music. So they took all the different types of words people would use, unique words, how difficult a word might be, the diverse vocabulary, all the different things. Now, I have to start this way. I'm not reading the whole list. There's like a whole list. They list the top 15 here, but there's more if you click a link. The one problem I have is my favorite band growing up, Rush, is not in the top 15. I need a recount because there's no doubt they had some of the hardest vocabulary, some of the most diverse lyrics. I mean, it's not even a question. If you don't want to put them number 1, okay, fine. But not to be in the top 15 is kind of crazy. Here's a few of them that are in the top 15. There is a country artist. Toby Keith is at number 14 for most diverse vocabulary in music. How about that? Iron Maiden, one of my favorite heavy metal groups growing up, at 12. Judas Priest, also at 11, one of my favorite groups. They very underrated in the heavy metal world, Judas Priest, for sure. They were one of the big ones back in the day. Jimi Hendrix at 10 on the list. Now, of course, Bob Dylan is there. You'd figure with this kind of list, Bob Dylan, vocabulary, that kind of stuff. He's at number 9. The Eagles at number 8. Very interesting. As you see, a lot of rock bands, a lot of heavy metal bands. Megadeth. They do have some crazy vocabulary. I don't even know how they fit it in to the music. Megadeth always had that. Number 7. There is another country artist, kind of an Americana artist, Tyler Childers, a current artist at number 6. The Boss, Bruce Springsteen, for diverse vocabulary at number 5. And the top 3, Slayer, yes, I told you there's some heavy metal bands in there. Pink Floyd at number 2. And believe it or not, according to this study that was done, the number 1 band in all of music with the most diverse vocabulary in their music is Black Sabbath. How about that? You can't understand what Ozzy's saying when he's not singing, but that's pretty wild. All right, on to other things. Anyone who listens to this show knows that I'm like 78% germaphobe. Like, I'm not, maybe more, but like I'm not fully. Like I'm not a nut. Like I'm not crazy. It's not 100%. But one of the things is you come into my house, you take your shoes off. That's just the way it works. So now there's a debate on social media about whether it's cool to take your shoes off at work, in the office. Naturally, most of the comments, people are against it. Yes, hand raised. I'm sorry, the shoes don't come off at work. There's a couple of times you can think about it. If you are sitting at your desk and you can't see under your desk, right? It's like an old school. It's not one of these new glass table things. It's like an old school desk and no one can see your feet. I got it. If you recently washed your feet, you have clean socks on, your shoes don't smell. I get it, but cannot imagine people walking around the office in their socks and then like you go home and the socks would have to come off before you even step through the doorway. Like we would have that. And by the way, no offense to any house that my kids have ever gone over. But we would have a thing like if we went over to someone's house and we were walking around in socks, which is fine. I've done it many times. I prefer it in my house. The minute we come home from someone's house that we've been walking around all night in socks, the socks have to come off. Like front porch, like socks get pulled off before you even walk into the house. I'm sorry. That's how it's got to go. But the debate rages for whether people are allowed to take their shoes off at work. Obviously, this has become a hot topic since the pandemic, and that is why we're discussing. And another one for now, we'll give you this one before we break. Would you say you're a patient person? About 71% of Americans think they are. So they looked at how long the average person would wait for various things. All right, think about this in your mind. You sit down at a restaurant. How long should it be until a server comes over to take your order? Or actually, I don't even like that question. How long would it be till a server comes over to at least take a drink order? Say, hey, here I am. Let me get your drinks. I'll be back in a moment. The most someone will wait, they say, is 13 minutes. Let me tell you something. I go to a restaurant and no one has come to my table within 13 minutes. Call it 5 minutes. I sit down at a table. You got to have a server should be. 5 minutes is a long time. Go ahead, set a 5-minute timer on your watch. And then think about you sitting at a table in a restaurant and nobody coming over to greet you. But apparently some people will wait up to 13 minutes before getting annoyed. Once the order goes in, how long will you wait for your food to arrive? 17 minutes is the average before you start getting angry or hangry. That number's... look, if you're at a fancy restaurant, maybe you're ordering appetizers, having drinks, things like that, so it's not a big deal and it's a lot longer. Obviously, if you're getting a really nice steak made or something, 17 minutes seems about right. I mean, if we're going past, 20 or so minutes and your food hasn't arrived, there's definitely some anger creeping in. How many people at a grocery store will make you switch lines to go on a different line? The average answer was 3. If there's 3 people ahead of you on the line, you're not going on that line. You are walking away. And then there's this one. This is very funny because there's no way. When you come to a stop sign and there's someone in front of you at a stop sign, how long before you sit on the horn and you let's go, honk the horn, get moving? A third of the people say they would wait 10 seconds. Yeah, that's not happening. You have 2 to 2.5 seconds. If you're in front of me at a stop sign, I'll give you 2 seconds. 1 is really a long time. I'll give you 2. Maybe you can creep into 3. If I see your car start to go forward, just a little bit, right? I know you're stepping on the gas. Maybe I'll lay off the horn. 2 to 3 seconds, tops. 10 seconds, absurd. My daughter Leah is taking driver's ed. They teach her at a stop sign to stop and count to 3 Mississippi. So Leah had me try this while I was driving. I got to not even 1 Mississippi. Like, think about it. You pull up to a stop sign. You wait till the car jolts back. That's when the driver's ed instructor said you start counting. Not when you get to the stop sign, when the car actually is fully stopped. And then you start counting to 3 Mississippi. I got to 1 Mississippi. I had to go. I'm sorry. It's insane. 10 seconds is absolutely insane. Plenty more to do this morning. 8:12, your Bald and the Beautiful Entertainment. 8:47, your National Days Good News Stories. And we will also tell you an item Starbucks is removing from their menu. I guess apparently it was causing some intestinal trouble. We will discuss. I didn't even know it was a thing. We'll see if you did. We got a little bit of rain this morning, clearing out after 12 o'clock, I believe. Decent day will be about 70, and a cool, beautiful fall weekend in the 60s. Let's hit the roads. My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.